got lots of friends who say to me, oh, I hate those people that do videos while they're in the car. So let me just reassure you, I have both hands on the wheel, my eyes on the road, and my mind pretty much on the driving on a quiet country lane, because I just wanted to share with you what an exciting day it's been so far. So I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning and went to record Mr. Blackbird. Alexa reliably informs me that it is the first day of spring. I thought it was tomorrow, the 21st, but Alexa says it's today, so I'm going to take today as the first day of spring. And Mr. Blackbird was giving it some welly. Wonderful, glorious, mellifluous is the term, like honey. So I recorded Mr. Blackbird, which meant that I hadn't given myself quite enough time to get to the Learning and Development Group, the Winchester Learning and Development Group at Marwell Hotel with Sarah Duggan, and managed to get there in time to record Pam's interview with Annalise. It was just worked out, you know. I don't like being late, but it worked out okay. And Annalise and Pam were brilliant, and then I spent some time with Sarah Martin, and they had people who've got the gift of encouragement, of giving energy to other people. So I left my time with them feeling energized, encouraged, strengthened, comforted. Just good people for whom I am very grateful indeed. Coming into Witchhampton now, you'd think that sounds dodgy, doesn't it? Witchhampton, home, I believe, of Robert Fripp. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent there. Let's come back onto the storyline. After an excellent meeting with the Learning and Development Group, I drove on to one of my favourite places, which is St James's Church in Alderholt. And I love this church. It's the only church I've ever seen that has the road sign outside that says open for prayer. It's a nice, simple, clean, well, churches are clean, but it's the simplicity of the design is a delight. So I popped in there and I recorded my Proverbs for today, which is Proverbs chapter 20. It was really, I continuously rejoice to find out how relevant 2,700-year-old writings are to management, leadership, development today. So if you are open to that kind of spiritual input, I will put a link to that as well. And then on from there, I went to Knowlton Rings, which is what's going to come up after this introduction, which is a Norman church that is now in ruins in the middle of a Neolithic, I think it's double rings actually, originally in a ditch, which was probably used for ceremonial use. It's just exciting. So you've got a clash of two major religions there, two major faiths, the Druids and the Christians, and neither came up on top because we need to work together. And then you'll see the beautiful prayer trees there where people put ribbons around the trees. It's beautiful, beautiful. So I've recorded there the message we're going to go into next on my memory system that I use. I just wanted to put a little bit on camera because the end piece on this video is where I've just been, which is the avenue of trees, I think they're beech trees, at Moor Critchell. Frankly, I think you're going to agree with me. They are just stunningly beautiful. And I might be a bit of a druid myself, I suppose. Can you be a Christian druid? I think you can. Because every time I'm around these trees and the trees of Badbury Rings, I just feel the positive energy, and especially on the first day of spring, where the hedgerows are bursting with energy. It's very difficult to feel anything, not that you'd want to feel anything other than energized and excited and blessed and positive and hopeful. I'm going to leave it there and cut to the tutorial bit of the video, and hope that you find my gift to you of my memory systems will help you have impact and make a positive impression when you do your networking, and you can remember people's names and all that good stuff where people go, wow, this person cares. I want you to know that I care for you. Have an amazing spring. Let me take you to one of my favourite places here. This is Knowlton Church and Earthworks, as they call it. So it's a Christian, remains of a Christian church within a pagan scenario. Interesting, really, for me. It's the first day of spring. I should think some of my druid buddies will be up here doing druidy things. There you go, let's read it to you. Knowlton Church and Earthworks. A Norman church extensively remodelled in the 14th century. It stands inside a late Neolithic henge monument constructed circa 2500 BC. So I've been reading to you Proverbs, which are not quite as old as that, but go back that far. This consists of a ring bank with 2 entrances and an internal ditch. It was probably meant for ceremonial use. A telltale sign there, yew trees, look at them. So, I'm feeling very generous today on this first day of spring. So what I'm going to do is share with you what I hope will be a good gift for you. And it's how I remember things. So it's Wealthy Wednesday today. And one of the most important things that you can ever get to improve your wealth is to boost your memory. And so I use 2 systems. I use the number rhyme system and the number shape system. And these go back to, really, to school. Because the first school I went to, the cloakrooms had shapes of pictures on them rather than numbers. Before we were old enough to really understand numbers, we could recognise the pictures. So you might have Noah's Ark as your peg. The mind loves images. You've got about 96% visual recall, and we can tell that by showing somebody 1,000 pictures, and then if we mix some of the pictures up, reverse them round, turn them round and put in new pictures, the accuracy of the visual recognition is 960 in every 1,000. So there's a huge area at the back of your brain dedicated to visual processing, and that's the way you've been designed by your maker. So anything we can do to use images to help memory is going to work naturally with the brain. It's going to be brain friendly. And so I'm going to teach you 2 memory systems that work with images. So let's do the number shape first, because that's internationally fair. So if English is not your first language, number shape is going to work for you regardless. Number 1 for me is shaped like a lighthouse. That's the shape of the letter. Shape of the number 1 is like the shape of a lighthouse. Number 2 is going to be a swan's neck, a swan. Number 3, you could have goldfish lips, but actually, if you don't tell anybody else, I have boobs. Is that all right? Number 4 is the sail of a yacht, so I have the whole yacht there. Number 5, I've got 3 sons, so I remember my wife looking like a number 5 from the side when she was pregnant. Happy days. So number 5 is that. Number 6 is a tear. Number 7 is a boomerang, shaped like a boomerang. Number 8 is Frosty the Snowman. Number 9 is a tadpole. It's spring now, we're going to have tadpoles and frogs and toads and things, and newts, that'd be great. And number 10 is a bat and a ball. So if you can remember those, 1 shaped like a lighthouse, 2 like a swan, 3 like breasts, 4 like a yacht, 5 like the side profile of a lovely pregnant lady, 6 like a tear, 7 like a boomerang, 8 like a snow person, snowman we're going to say, number 9 like a tadpole, and number 10 like a bat and ball. So that's the number shape system. The number rhyme system is to come up with a strong image that rhymes with the number. So for me, 1 rhymes with bun, like a burger bun really. I like savoury rather than sweet. Number 2 is shoe. Number 3 is tree. And here we are. Oh, must have caught something. Wow. Here are the yew trees with their prayer ribbons. Some people come and pray here, put ribbons in the trees. It's great in the wind, isn't it? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. It looks like I caught the exposure control, so hopefully the first bit of the video was alright. Much more ribbons now than last time I came. Here on the spring, beginning of spring. Wow, all these thoughts. And then you look through the yew trees to the church. So let's stay here for a while. It's a special space. Bun, shoe, tree. Door is my number 4, excuse me. 5 is hive. 6 is sticks. 7 is heaven. 8 is gate. 9 is vine. And 10 is hen. So bun, shoe, tree, door, hive, sticks, heaven, gate, vine, and hen. And what happens with me, and I'm sure it happens with you too, is that I have my best ideas, my most creative ideas at the worst possible times. I might be driving, or I might be in the shower, or I might be just wanting to go to sleep. And in that gap where the logical brain has just relaxed for a few minutes, the other levels of consciousness inside us can bring forth ideas. And so I need a system to capture those ideas, otherwise I lose them. And I imagine that I have a mental cloakroom where I've got the number rhyme pegs on one side of the cloakroom: bun, shoe, tree, door, hive, sticks, heaven, gate, vine, hen, and the number shape system on the other side: the lighthouse, the swan, the boobs, the yacht, the pregnant lady's side profile, the tear, the boomerang, 7, Frosty the Snowman, and gate. So Frosty the Snowman is 8. Number 9 is the tadpole, and then number 10 is the bat and the ball. So my degree's in theology. So what I've been doing this morning is learning some stuff from the scriptures. And there are 9, let's make sure I haven't done the exposure thing again there, 9 spiritual gifts that we're supposed to covet. It's interesting language. So coveting is a sin, except when it comes to spiritual gifts. We're supposed to covet the spiritual gifts. We're supposed to follow love and covet earnestly spiritual gifts. So here are the 9. Let's see if I can remember using the system that I used this morning. So the first spiritual gift that you should covet is wisdom. The second one is knowledge. The third one is faith. The fourth one is gifts of healings. The fifth one is miracles, the working of miracles. The sixth one is prophecy. The seventh one is the discerning of spirits. The 8th one is the gift of tongues, what you see in the charismatic movements in churches. The 9th one is the interpretation of tongues. And so I used the number shape system to memorise those. For me, the lighthouse was giving wisdom of where it was safe to sail and where it wasn't safe. The swan was linked to knowledge, because the swan teaches its cygnets the right way to go, the knowledge, the know-how of life to go in life. The breasts was an interesting one. How do I link that to faith? But I believe it's interesting that one of the great names for God is El Shaddai, which to some people means the many-breasted one, the all-sufficient one. So that was kind of easy, really. Faith in God. Number 4 was the gift of healing. I just imagine how healing it would be to be on a yacht on a beautiful day. Just a healing experience. Number 5, the gift of miracles, the working of miracles with the pregnant lady's side view. To me, pregnancy and birth is the ultimate miracle. I love it. And of course, Jesus, the divine conception. 6, the tear was prophecy. Prophecy is not always good news. So sometimes we're moved by those prophecies. 7 was the discerning of spirits. So it's a good spirit, bad spirit. So I saw the 2 sides of the boomerang, 2 ends of the boomerang. Is it good, is it bad? And actually imagine Blade, if you've ever seen the fantasy movie, where he takes out the bad guys, the vampires, with his boomerang type thing. So that was my discerning of spirits. And then 8 was the snowman from Raymond Briggs' snowman, where there's actually no words. And in this version of the story, the snowman was talking in tongues. And then Nine the tadpole was interpreting the language. It's a bit weird, isn't it? But it's stuck in my mind. So that means that if I went to a church now where they didn't have someone to preach, and I didn't have a Bible with me, I could give a sermon on the gifts of the Spirit from memory. How cool is that? Oh. So I'm going to leave it there. There's my system. It takes very, very little practice to become proficient with it. But when you do that, you will have 100% rapid recall, random access memory, which will make a huge influence, a huge effect, huge positive influence, a huge positive impression on people. So let's just finish with some views from this amazing place, Norton Rings. Wonderful. This is Lex McKee, signing out.